Okay, so I checked the dividers. I'm going with 3mm dividers. There's going to be 2 of them so that I can separate it into 3 chunks: the deck, the graveyard, and the banish zone. The banish zone is almost never going to be used, and when it is, there's going to be like 1 or 2 cards in it, you know? Because even in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, it's very rare to banish a card. Like, it's not anywhere near as rare as it used to be, but it's still pretty rare. And then you can always get, and like things that get banished tend to be banished for a turn. So like, it's funny. Anyways, I can now take this a little more seriously. The walls here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this and delete it. Okay. I'm gonna... Whoa, there's a lot of bodies there that weren't there before. Ah. Delete that. Body 8, delete that. And then body 18. I don't know why this feature is referenced. Body 19, delete that, yes. Body 22. Divider 3, don't delete that. Okay. So this sketch, delete that. And this sketch, what is on this sketch? Yeah, delete that too. Okay. So now the only sketch with a warning is this, and I don't mind that it has a warning. I'm gonna make these constructions disappear for a second. Okay. So the divider is good, but I do want to make a second version of the divider. Okay. I do want to make a second version of the divider. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Actually, no, wait, hang on. Okay. Change that sketch again. Okay, delete that. Now I should be able to move just this, just a little bit. Alright. Okay, so if I delete that and bring back this sketch. What sketch was it? 13. Okay, and extrude all this stuff. And make that the divider height, and check that the divider height is set to the correct size. Okay. Cool. And then rename this. Whoops. To tabbed divider. Alright. Go ahead and round out its edges. I mean, it's not like it's gonna help, honestly, because like the size of these things doesn't allow it to have very big curves. Like the size of these corners don't allow it to have very big curves. It kind of just has to have a bunch of really small curves, so it's not even, so it's gonna be sharp anyways, but whatever, you know? Okay. Alright, so now I can bring the 2-player clip, start a sketch here, and project all of this. And then what if I offset everything by a wall thickness? By 2 wall thicknesses. I'm trying to think right here, because I don't want to use very much filament, but I do need it to be able to keep the cards from falling out. So I will need to like close up these gaps here, right? Like for example, that. Oh, did I forget to... Okay, hang on. I forgot to, where is that one? Okay. Okay. This one too. I forgot to give this a... Okie dokie. Delete that. Okay. Now I'll start again. Okay. So, if I project... I'm gonna think about this a little bit more hard. Okay. If I project that, right? And I put a circle like here, right? It's actually more like here, but I think I'm gonna be overshooting some stuff if I do it this way. And I want to overshoot some stuff. And I move it. Whoops, I move an arc that I had put on this. Right? I select this axis. Right? To about there. So I'll need about that much. And if I put a line here, and I project this, and I put the line, I put this line here. So I'll need about that much, I think. So I think what I'll do is design it according to that. But instead of just a simple arc, I'm going to use a spline. I want to make sure the spline is as close as I possibly can get it, and that's pretty good. Because if I put a circle here, I'm going to do it both ways. So move this, create a copy, rotate on this axis. What in the world? There. Okay, and then I move again. This, rotate, create a copy, select this one. Okay, so yeah, I need the bigger one. Actually, wait a minute. I need this line. Okay, so if I move this again, and I select this. Okay, I'm gonna have to move them both at the same time. Move these two, rotate this axis, create a copy. Okay. About 35 degrees. So if I just put a line from here going to here, and from here going to there, and then this one was a construction line, and this one was a construction line, and the purple one I want this one. If that was also a construction line, did I make that a construction line? No, because the purple lines okay, there. For some reason, it wants to make a new construction line when you turn a projection into a construction. Then you have to delete it, and then like there. And he's like, "Oh, you wanted to keep that as a normal line? Okay." It's like, "No, I wanted a construction line." "Oh, you wanted a construction line? I'll keep the normal line." And then what all this really needs to do, though, is keep the cards from sliding out. So we just project all of these curves real quick. Alright, okay, if I get rid of that, and this as well, these are constructions. And I should actually also measure, I just thought of a better way to do this. I've got 40 cards in my deck. I need another 20 for a full deck. 6, 10, 12, 13, 14, 18. That's about 58. Okay, put these two random cards in sleeves real quick. This one's going to even be upside down. Okay, I'm going to measure this at, let's see, 1.53, so 1.53 inches. So if I take that 1.53 inches, no, not 1.53 inches, just inches. We've got 38.862, so 39 millimeters. So all I really need then is 39 millimeters. This is so much easier. This is so much better. 39 millimeters. In this direction, not even, and more like this direction, right? And then I just make it roughly 60 or roughly 95. This is not 695. All right. And if I make this, if I project this curve, I put a line here, I put an arc on it, and I make this tangent to that arc, and this is all I really need. And then I can mirror it. And I don't want to make just a plate that is 95 millimeters, or that is this big, right? So I'm going to go ahead and make this a construction line. Of course, that's just for the deck, and that's just this. So I need to add back in the other 39 plus 2 times wall thickness. Okay. And then plus whatever this distance is. All right. Make that 6. All right. Interesting. And then what I'm going to do to save a little bit of filament, but I'll do that later. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mirror this part, and this part. on this line. Oh, crap. Okay, hang on. Hang on. This has to go through that point. Okay. Okay, so now when I mirror it, it should be... Alright, and then if I project all the rest of this stuff... Okay. Okay. So now I should be... Now I should be able to get this and this. Is that okay? By wall thickness. All right. And I need that little circle too. Okay. So now if I have the two-player clip, this is what it would look like so far now. If I move this by a distance of, what was it, card width minus clip width, and half of that. Alright. And I make a sketch here on this, and I project just this circle and just this circle, and I make a new circle to make this circle better, and I get rid of this, and whoops, I didn't mean to finish the sketch, and I offset this by negative static tolerance, and I extrude all of this, okay, back to, well, this is the home view. Okay, I extrude this, by a distance of card width minus clip width divided by 2. And then I bring back this sketch and I extrude just that inner circle, and I start it here, I make it like 10. Okay, that was the wrong. Okay, not 140. All right, now bring back the clip. All right, so now that's what it looks like. And so now I'll make a new sketch on this plane, get rid of the clip. And I'll go ahead and, because this is going to be solid plastic, I'm going to save material by okay. Wall thickness. If I put a line, if I put a point, if I put a circle, if I project the circle. Okay, and I put a line here. Then I offset this by wall thickness divided by 2. And I offset it again by negative wall thickness divided by 2. I bring that all the way up to like just the whole thing. All right, and I need maybe 5-10 of those, so I should be able to make a pattern here. Select this direction. Five, and put the extent to make it 7. 6? Yeah, 6 I like. Okay, and then the extent will be from here to here is create driven 64.574. So do that. Oh, and also bring these up a lot farther. Like there. Okay. So now select this direction, quantity 6, and the distance will be 64.574. Okay. Do the same thing in the other direction. Negative 64.574. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm gonna, that's gonna be pretty weak if that's connected to just that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in here, put another circle going all the way out to this one, and then okay, that'll be better. So now what it looks like is this, which is really silly. And then if I find that mirror plane I made, this one, and I mirror the body, that'll be funny. That didn't work. No, that put it way too far in there. Why did it put it way too far in there? Oh, because I had moved it. Okay. So if I move this in this direction by a distance of C card width minus C clip width divided by 2, that's should have been negative. Whatever. I don't know, it's gonna look silly. Okay, I'm thinking what I have right now. I'm thinking that what I have will work, except that I need to keep it from rotating. So, I'm gonna go back into this sketch. Gonna go ahead. Oh, I'm not gonna go back into this sketch. I'm gonna make a new sketch here. I'm gonna project this much. Offset this by the negative static tolerance. Gonna project this line and this line. Offset this again by negative static tolerance minus wall thickness. And now if I extrude this part to here, no, wait, hey, oh, not to there. To here. All right. And then I'm going to go back in here. And then I'm going to put a circle here. And then I'm going to bring this sketch back, and I'm going to extrude this circle to the shorter one, and that will just make it not have to print an island. I don't think I want to print this whole thing yet, but I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Okay, if I have the clip, what have I got? See, I don't like the size that this has gotten to. Is something I kind of don't like the size that this has gotten to. I would like for it to be a little smaller than it is, but oh well, you know. Because, like, under my arm is not going to be a big deal. It's the over my arm that needs to be thin. And the over my arm is very thin. So, this is why I wanted it to be a whole separate thing and not... I mean, I could also put it on my other arm. Although then I'd have to be playing weird, but... Or because it's going to be a separate strap, my friend could have this on his arm. Right? That'd be interesting. Anyways. Yeah, I think I'm just going to save this. Call it walls. Okay. Save that. Yes, replace it. And then save this. And then I'll go ahead and print them out. And see how well they work. I ought to be able to print this out entirely, but I'm going to print out just a slice of it, just to be absolutely sure. I can't think of a way of testing this without printing out the whole thing. Like, I could print out half of it, but I still need to print out... both of these sides, right? So I guess I'm just going to bite the bullet and print the whole thing. This is going to take freaking forever. But yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll see how well they work together. And if it works together properly, then I can print the whole clip, and then I can pretty much be done. Yeah. Unless somehow putting it all the pieces together makes it not work, but I doubt that. So I doubt that's going to happen. So yeah, I'll go ahead and save this here, and I'll print them out, and I'll test them. Okay, I've got the a small sliver of the clip and a wall printed. The tube up here broke off, so I cut off the rest of it because it isn't actually needed, because I can put this piece of the clip into it, this little indent here, and it fits pretty well, kind of, only kind of. If I put that in, I've got this, and now I can test out how much I actually need by putting my deck in it. So I've got my deck in this. I'm gonna lay it down flat. I'm gonna have to hold it up also. And then I've got my extra deck in here. And my goodness, I guess I actually need all of it. That's kind of unfortunate, because I saw that with my deck in it. If it was just my deck, I would only need a little bit. I would only need a little bit of it. Hang on. Which way is the top? Okay, that is the top. Okay. These cards are sleeved upside down, so It's hard to use. It's hard to use such a tiny little sliver of the thing, but put them in there. Right. This comes out, and then if I put the dividers in it, which will approximate the full situation. Let me see if I can put it on this side. This side might be easier. That goes down, and then the extra deck gets clear separation. And yeah, I need this whole wall. So now that I know that, the change I'm gonna make is, so I noticed I'm clipping this in this way. I don't think that'll work with the full this. The reason I don't think that'll work is because this is able to bend a lot in the wrong direction because it's so skinny. So it might be bending the wrong way. So what I'm gonna do is change up these tolerances a little bit to allow me to like slip it in, and I'm just gonna glue it in place probably. But I am going to print out the full this part, the full clip part though. And when I do, I'll come back and check this to see if I can clip in the full clip. If I can just snap that in, then the only change I'll have to make is getting rid of the that tube in the middle. And if I can't, then I'll have to change up the tolerances and plan on gluing it. And then I'll have a full dealer. It is unfortunate that it is quite so tall, but that is just the size of the deck. So, well, it's mostly just the size of the deck. Because it's also going to come out this way. Like this. Oh, that bent permanently now because it's so skinny. But yeah, go ahead, throw this out. So yeah, I'll print the full clip. I'll check this again real quick, but for sure I'm getting rid of this, and then I will probably be done. I mean, I can probably use this one as well, like this exact print in my finished dealer, so if I do it right. So unless I need to change the tolerances, then I'll have to print a whole new one. Anyways, that's the plan. Plan is full clip, get rid of that tube. Okay, I've got the full thing printed for the Holdiani bit, the dealer. I also put one of the dividers in it, the only one I have printed right now because I had this one printed and I wanted to see if it would go on it, and it's perfect. It's not going to come off anytime soon. And I was going to check if this can snap on, which it does, which is nice, and it stays on pretty nicely. But I'm not sure if I even need these walls, because with the whole 40 millimeter thickness, with the whole thing there, Hang on. Yeah. I can actually, it actually grips onto the deck way tighter. Like, okay, well, let me just get it in. All right. It's actually easier to use this when I'm wearing it, but that's not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and not make the second wall, but I am going to make the changes to the wall if in the future I do end up needing it, and also the extra deck. So I am going to make the changes to the wall if I do end up needing it, but this allows me to like do all the things that you need to do. I might have wanted to make this longer. So if I was to do this again in the future, I'd make it longer. This longer so that I can... Anyways. But yeah, and then a card, say I draw a card, right? Oh, goodness, that's tight. And then the card goes to the graveyard because I did stuff with it. So I send it to the graveyard. Okay, so that's gonna require some learning. That's gonna be a learning curve because I kind of was thinking that this was gonna go up like that, and it's going in, and it's marking the card. So I'm thinking that now I might have to redesign the divider because, yeah, that marked the, well, it marked the, I hope it didn't mark the card. Oh God, the card is marked. Oh crap. That went through the sleeve. Okay, that's an issue. That's an issue. That's the first time one of these has actually gone through the sleeve like that. That's because of the divider. I think I'm gonna make it, I think I'm gonna stick with the 2mm one actually, because it is thinner. In fact, let me check right now. I put that on. The other side. It's a little bit difficult to get this in because you kind of have to. The difficulty in getting it in is also going to be difficulty in getting it out, so that's actually good, but let me see if the 2mm one works better. Okay, nothing fell, which is interesting. I'll put this side on first because this is the cruddy side. There, okay. So now I'm going to check with this side if that's going to work. Slide it up and down real quick, get it loose. Pull out the deck. The extra deck falls straight out because it's not being clamped in tightly. Put this down. My deck fell out of my hands. Put this down. Grab the deck. Get it all consolidated. Okay, put the deck in this. Yeah, that's the right side. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now pull a card out. I drew. Well, that's World Legacy Guard Dragon, right? Yeah, World Legacy Guard Dragon. That doesn't matter. So if I do this, graveyard goes in face up, and that's also marking. I see the issue, right, with keeping the dividers shaped the way they're shaped is that it creates a shape of the card has to go under the divider and bend upwards. So one thing that could alleviate that is as you put it in, yeah, put your finger underneath until it gets past a certain point, and there. I drew another card, a trap card. I used it. Unfortunately, the graveyard is going to have to go in upside down in order to prevent the damage to the cards. Now, oh god, now. Let me check this one. That's marked. That's bad. Okay, so I have to come up with some way of preventing that from happening. What about this one? It's also marked, but significantly less. Okay, I wasn't wanting to do this, but something, for now, what I think I can do is I could use a dummy card. I could use like a dummy card, like, well, none of these are worthless. But I could use something worthless, right, as the first one in order to deal with that. And I could just have 2 of those so that my buddy on the other side will have something for his grave. I'll have to have 4. Right, 1 for each graveyard and 1 for each banish zone. But now what I'm going to do is put this on my arm. And I don't like how big it is on my arm. It's pretty big. It's a lot bigger than the Duel Blade, right? The blade itself is significantly shorter. I can't think of a single way to get around this because this is determined by the size of the deck of cards. And the deck of cards is actually thicker slightly than this whole Duel Blade, which keeps falling apart because I never glued it in. I need to glue it in. So yeah, I'm gonna put 1 card in here, and I'm gonna put 1 card in here, multiple cards actually, because it has been slightly permanently deformed. I'm gonna put just a few, like that many. Yeah, they're not coming out. Okay, I'm gonna wear this, put on the blade. I'm gonna put the blade where it goes. Then I'm gonna put the deck. Yeah, the deck can go pretty much wherever. So that's a comfortable spot for it. And I've noticed that this this little thingy kind of gets in the way of the Duel Blade. So what I actually need to do, now that I am in this stage of the process, we'll do that. You need to go first because it's important to the order that it goes, otherwise it can't close them all. So what I actually need to do next is make one of these but thinner. About as thin as this little tab here. So that'll be super simple. But I've also noticed that the Duel Blade is surprisingly stable with just one strap. So when it comes time to redesigning this armband, I'm going to redesign it for having only one strap. That way I can just use this one and this one.